Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with my February challenge team page for Bramble Fox. And the challenge this month is, go figure, hearts. The challenge is called Heart Attack, and the challenge is just to use hearts on your layout. So I'm also using, I'm going to show you now, kind of hold up the things I'm using, and I'm thinking there's a glare being created by that light. Don't know if that's going to help any, but we'll see. So here's my packet of stuff. I'm using, I've taken everything that I'm going to use and put it in this little dish. Let me do this. That might help. And I may or may not use all of that. My photo is of Ava in at like 2.5 in the cutest little pink wool coat and her little snuggie on her head and her little gloves, and there's James, and they're out in snow. Snowfall is fairly rare. We don't get it every year, but when we do get it, it's usually in February, although this photo was taken in January of 2011 when she was 2.5, and I remember a very strong heavy snowstorm that came in March. I think the first winter that we lived in Georgia. So anyway, I took the opportunity to use the snowman, which came in a Simple Stories page pieces pack. And I'll put that aside. I've shown you the sequins. They're Scrap and Happy, and it's got a nice combination of pinks and blues that are going to be on the page. And I have this set of hearts from Bramble Fox. I think these are called warm hearts if you're shopping in the shop. And these are called Hearts Galore, which have a random selection of colors and shapes. And I pulled a couple special shapes out of there. The title is coming from this set, which is at least a year or two old. And it's going to say Cozy Winter Fun. And Cozy will be in pink, and Winter will be in blue, and Fun will be in pink. But I have Frosty Cocoa here left from there. A more recent winter pack, I think this came in a Fox box, had some Woodies of birds, and I've pulled a couple birds out, and they're cardinals. And then there were some snowflakes in this one that was a title for December 22. So what I've got to do now is go find myself a photo from December of 2022 so that I can use this title. And so I'll put those aside. I have this little bit of blue, I guess it's adhesive ribbon, and it has little glittery threads woven through it, and I thought I might try to use that. So the first thing I'm going to do, though, is use these circles of bleeding tissue paper. And let me get my tweezer out, and I'll get my spray bottle of water, and I'm just going to kind of spray the paper. This is Vicky Bouton's Mixed Media Foundations paper. And I'm just kind of spraying it on. It shouldn't warp as much as other papers might, and even if your paper does warp, it can always be pressed down once you put it in an album. I've had so many warped pages in my albums. And I'm just kind of placing these in random spots, and I'm going to drag them around and let them kind of get my trash can handy to drop them in. And I love that that's... So I've got a bright pink and a blue and a lighter pink, which is not doing much on the page, and that's a shame. So I'm gonna have to drag some of the other colors onto it. Let me make sure you're able to see this. Okay, I think that might work, and I'm still kind of experimenting with a setup that will allow me to do this even while recovering from my surgery, my shoulder surgery. And I got fitted. I'm filming this before my surgery, and excuse me, I got fitted yesterday with the sling that I'll be wearing, and I think I didn't realize how limited that was gonna make me. So this one, I left some kind of raw edges, and I kind of wanted them to be a little bit more, but I will drag this around and kind of make some random spots on there. And now I'm going to grab this setup. You may have noticed that the setup is on my left, and I had been experimenting with it on my right. I'm just trying to see if this helps normalize the light a little bit better. Okay, so now we have that. Let's start building this page. I'm going to put the photo kind of right here, and I'm going to orient it kind of towards the bottom so that I can really have my title stand out. And that has really picked up so many of the colors from the photo. I'm very happy with it. And if you see my finger over here, that's just trying to keep the picture showing so that I can see what you're seeing. And I think well, I know it continues to film even when I'm not. What I'm doing here is adding a couple scraps of the papers I used to mat the photo. And right now, as I'm filming this, the baby got scraps. Hop is going on, but it's just for the month of January, so I didn't have to use scraps for a February page. Okay, this will go all the way to the end of that page. And I don't know if this one will or not. It kind of depends on how centered I actually got my photo. So it looks like it will. And so that's done. And I'm not sure. It seems like maybe if I had a light back up there, I'll have to try that. The actual fact is possibly, hopefully, by the time you see this, I will have bought and installed a webcam that will have a dead straight on view of things. Okay, so the title is going to go here. Now this has kind of begun to warp, so that's I'm going to have to press that down. I want a bird over by the snowman, like on the snowman's shoulder maybe. And I love these little, they're called Woodies, and you can color them with inks or paints or any number of things. But I kind of like them. I like the natural wood. I think it's a nice, I don't know, a restful sort of look when you have a colorful page. It kind of, I don't know. Okay, let's do the title. Cozy Winter Fun. And I kind of want to put fun down here, and then I'll build it from there. Let me get that centered. This fun will go kind of right in here. And let me get some, I'm sorry to reach across again. I'll have to think filming, think it through and have things placed differently so that I don't have to reach across the screen. That seems kind of like it might. I was going to say seems a little bit unprofessional, but everything I do here could be called unprofessional. It's just me scrapping with some friends and sharing what little bit I've learned about this fabulous craft obsession that we all have, that we all share. Okay, pressing that down actually is helping the warping, which is nice. Okay, and so cozy goes there. And I think that's evenly spaced. Now let's see what we're going to do. I've got this thing that says snow much fun, and I thought I'd put it over here, but first I'm going to use either one or two gnomes. Well, I have one gnome, and then I have a little gnome's cottage so I think I'm going to put the cottage down and then glue the other gnome, or the gnome, kind of bridging the cottage. We'll do that. And then this is going to, there are so many layers of matting under the photo, and the photo's also on foam. So let me make sure this gets fully glued right there onto that corner. I'm going to position it so that they're not in a straight line. And then this snow much fun can fit somewhere over here, maybe here, maybe not, maybe, oops, I've got a little star that I'm planning to use. Not sure where that will go or if it'll go, but I do know that I'm going to use this little squirrel, because Ava is known as baby squirrel, and my good friend Suzanne Madison die cut or punched these, a million of them, and sent them to me a while back. And one of them is in a perfect pink and white check that goes so nicely with all these other colors. I put a little foam behind it so that it kind of stands out, and I have its tail kind of overlapping the gnome to sort of make it part of this cluster. I want to put something right here. I'm not sure what. I'm thinking that the bird underneath the gnome house may not be the proper, the right placement, the right way to build that cluster. Okay, now I'm going to just start adding snowflakes, and then in between the snowflakes, I'll do hearts. I know that I want this kind of glass looking snowflake up, and I'm adding for the glass one, if I put the glue in the middle, it would always show, but I put the glue on the little bits that stick out. What do you call those? What do you call the bits that stick out on the snowflake? I have no idea. But it doesn't show because they're already kind of busy and sort of broken up there. So I'll put the white one there, and now I've got a pink one that's paper that came from that Simple Stories, the same page pieces where I got the snowman. I don't know why it keeps going off like that. I bet there's a setting I can do. So I'm going to put that one there, and I'll raise it up with a fairly thick piece of foam. And I have a blue one that I'm going to put here. And then the hearts are kind of going to go on last because they're going to sort of build on the clusters that are being started by the snowflakes. And that's kind of my philosophy in building clusters. I don't, I hardly ever have the full cluster like thought out or planned in when I start a page. It kind of occurs organically as other elements get placed, and I do the larger elements first. That was something I learned from Christina Sorge, who is my my scrapbooking guru out there, and I thank her a bunch. And I'm gonna put that right there, so that's a little bit more, and then I'm gonna add in a little tiny paper heart. Maybe, well, I don't know where I want that. How about here? Why not right there on the photo? And then I have a tiny pink heart. And those can be my signature overlapping hearts. See, this challenge was easy for me because I use hearts on every layout. I think just about every layout. I have always loved the idea of overlapping hearts like that, and it's kind of appropriate with a daddy and his daughter. So I'm gonna do this maybe right there. I'll put that one there, and then I need a pink one over here like that, and then I have sort of a pale mauve pink which can go here, and I like that because it contrasts kind of with the blue that's going on there. And then I have this kind of darker mauve color, and I want to put it maybe right here, just kind of with that pink one. You can see that, right? Then I have another Bramble Fox heart, a little clear pink, and I'm gonna put the glue on it, and then I'm gonna kind of tap it to sort of spread it around, just make it sticky, but not so that you can tell the glue, so that you can see the glue through it. And I have a couple of those kind of darker mauve colored stars, and I'm going to go ahead and let me put this one down here, and I'll put this one kind of up. Oops, that's a lot of glue. Didn't mean to do that. So I'll put this one kind of right there. And what else do I have? I have another blue heart. So let's kind of put it right here in a grouping with that mauve heart. Okay, now the snow much fun. Is there any room for it? Maybe right here, going across the from the photo to the snowman. I think I have scrapped this photo before, and I believe that the title of my last page was Snow Much Fun. So that's kind of why I really did want to include that on here. And I have this little bit that I thought maybe I could do on top of those pink pieces. Let's see how that works out. I'm going to try to cut it straight, but it frays anyway, but that's all right. That's okay. And I don't want it to go all the way to the end. This one can be shorter at their different lengths because of the different embellishments that they're bridging. Okay, so that looks like a continuous piece through there, sort of. I'll press that down so it doesn't flip up. And now the next question is, what about the bird? Do we want the bird kind of over here inspecting the gnome cottage, the gnome house, the gnome home? Let's see how this works. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the bird's face because that's the part that's going to overlap. And I'm going to do it that way. Okay? I think I'm done. So, I do want to add some sequins. Just kind of around in some of these clusters. And I'll just kind of lay those out, and then I'll randomly pick sequins to go on there. And I have some white splatters that I thought I would use over everything once I get everything down. I'll protect the photo, but I want to use, I don't mind if it gets on the birds or the snowman or anything else, the title pieces, whatever. Okay, here, and I've got this little tiny sequin that is a kind of golden beige champagne sort of color, and it kind of adds in that, and it's hard to get those on. It brings in the color of the wood. That's kind of why I'm using those on here. And I want to do blue one here, and I'll do a pretty pink one there, and another of these sort of neutral wood tone beige there. Okay, over here I'm going to do a blue one, and I'll do a pink one here, kind of a flat pink, and then I'll do a darker sort of clear pink. And now bring this over. I'll do a dark pink here and a blue. This blue one has an end kind of chopped off. So what I'm going to do is get the glue on it, but bring it down so it's kind of sticking out of the paper there. And then I'm going to get this light pink. I'm going to do another blue right up here, and a pink, but it's not right side up, so I'll have to turn it. Get it right there. And now I'll do one of the wood tone ones there, a different kind of blue one. It's a little bit different size and a different shade, and then a matte finish kind of pink there, and I'm going to go with this darker pink. And there for a while they were picking up very nicely by the tips. Okay, I think I'm done, and now we're going to protect the photo, and I'm going to get a Bramble Fox piece of Bramble Fox packaging. And now what I really want to do is get light on the tissue paper areas. But if it happens to get on other things, I'm more than happy to let it do that. And I'm really not getting a good splatter from this. My days of using this bottle may be done. I think many of you probably know the story that this originally held Dilution's white ink spray, and I began adding watered down acrylic paint and gesso to give it a kind of a thickness and a texture. And I may have kind of overdone some of that. I didn't ever measure any proportions, and some mixes have worked out better than others. So let me get that. And I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm not going to use this ever again, but I want to try with a paintbrush to see if I can get some fine splatters, and it's doing big splatters and small splatters. Okay, so I think now we're done, and I think I may have to discard this, and I'll go order a new white, or I'll just use one of my little jars and I'll mix up my magic potion, and we'll see how that works. Anyway, oh, I think I got some, I don't think, I can see, I got some splatters on my keyboard here. So, go figure. Anyway, I'm going to raise this up. I think these splatters are thick enough that they're not going to so you can kind of see the thickness that gesso adds to them. So there's my kind of upside down T-shaped design with lots of wintry symbols and a wintry photo that we don't get many of down here. And I thank you for watching, or over here, I guess, for those of you in the UK. I thank you for watching, and I hope you'll check out the Bramble Fox shop for these products that I used here, some of which are probably old enough that they won't be in the shop, but there's so many good things being added lately. So I hope you'll take a look. Thanks for watching. Bye.